All right. Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous. Welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show. Today, we will be ending our little arc here in Twintowns. But before we get into our actual gameplay, I'm going to have some announcements and a recap. But before even that, I would love it if Nick would kick off some player introductions for us.
Hi, I'm Nick. I play Embers of White Ash, Sunsalt Tabaxi Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay, and I play Lady Elwyn Amelos, who is the Elvish Circle of the Land Druid.
Hello, I'm Melissa. Play Tuppy, who's definitely a character. Pixie Bard.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Vertinor Oranglass, who is a changeling armor artificer.
You forgot your title, Vertinor.
Prince Vertinor.
Hello, I'm Will. I play Con the Halfling Cleric.
Thank you, everyone. I just love it when Zach makes fun of anyone who's not me, to be honest. Anyways, those announcements I talked about. We premiere our episodes on YouTube every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items, as well as a custom pixie lineage, which Melissa is kindly playing for us. Our character portraits, which you'll see on the info cards and pretty much all over the layout, were drawn by an artist named Krista Porter, who goes by @KristaPorter with 2 R's on the end on Twitter. If you need a refresher on anything that's going on in this campaign, you can check out our campaign wiki at World Anvil. There's a page on there called The Story So Far, which I actually just recently updated to account for basically the end of this arc, minus what happens tonight, of course, but it'll get you up to date quick. Anyways, other than that, you can follow us on Twitter at Antiheroes and be sure to share the show with your friends, enjoy it as you watch, and come back to watch some more. So before I can just ramble on awkwardly anymore, let's go ahead and roll the intro video. And welcome back. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, a powerful blizzard forced the Silver Seekers to take refuge near the settlement of Twintowns. Both of the towns were threatened by strange, cold, undead monsters. The town of Glimmercairn made a deal with vicious Fae to defend themselves, while Rhymestrand came under the sway of wolf cultist Albric Coldlake. With the help of Hakan Anvilheart, the Seekers addressed both issues before facing down the undead hordes and finding the root of the problem, a cloning facility with unsettling ties to the League of Terrors. The elemental ice power that was powering the facility has been dealt with, and the blizzard should hopefully subside as a result. And so we pick up right where we left off last week. I'll give a brief description, and then I will turn things over to you. You find yourselves in a cavern of ice and cold stone, deep beneath the, my bird is squeaking, deep beneath the Rhymelock Lake that sits next to Rhymestrand, one of the 2 towns that comprises Twintowns. Right. Within this cavern, there are a number of strange things. There is an ancient well carved of this strange dark gray stone and covered with, these runes that seem to flash with a sort of pale bluish energy. The well itself also seems to contain not any sort of liquid or anything like that, but just a amalgamation of this, or a collection of this, same pale bluish white energy. Pipes lead away from the well itself and kind of back up the tunnels that you came to get here, all the way to the laboratory that you found directly underneath the cathedral in Twintowns. Also curled around this well and kind of overlapping the pipes that come from it are the massive bones of a long dead dragon. Similarly, or on that note, you can see sort of embedded in the ice that makes up the walls and floor, coins of gold and platinum and silver and bronze, as well as, to Elwyn's eyes, which had the ability to detect magic, a few items that seem to glow with magical power. And if I've forgotten anything else, I'll remind you later. But that is essentially the situation you find yourselves in. The well had erupted with strange white furred tentacles, but you fought them off and they've since retreated back into the well. And with them, it seemed as if the temperature in the room began to warm a little bit. And even as you look at the well, you can see kind of a stabilizing of the arcane energy that is concentrated there. And so with that, I will turn things over to you. What would the group of you like to do?
So with the warmth returning, is the room sort of thawing at this point?
No, I mean, it's not like it's warm in here. It's still cold in here, but when you were fighting those white furred tentacles, it was oppressively cold. Like if you recall, you were taking cold damage just by proximity to this thing. That seems to have receded, and it even seems to have warmed up just a little bit more than what it was in here when you first entered the room. But it's still cold down here. It's not like it's a balmy 72 degrees or anything like that all of a sudden. But
can I do some sort of check to see if there's a way I can like nullify that container or like make it so it will get warmer?
Sure. You could roll an Arcana check.
I'll cast guidance on you.
All right, cool. Oh my gosh, I need guidance real bad. Let's see. Oh, who has inspiration?
I have no more to give you. Sorry.
That's okay.
I think he was talking about just
That's not too
inspiration,
bad.
not
10,
bardic
Oh,
inspiration.
16. 16.
I rolled a dice, and Will is starting with the inspiration.
Sweet.
16, you said?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of tentatively make your way over to the well and begin to give it a close look. The runes that are carved into this, old-looking gray stone, seem to be runes written in Primordial, which I believe is a language you understand.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's not words that make sense. It's using that runic structure, but this is clearly arcane magic, and it is more powerful arcane magic than you have, the ability to understand as you are right now. You would probably need further research. There's no it's pretty much just a well that goes down into the ground, other than these runes. So the only thing you could think of would be to mess with the runes themselves, but it's a little bit iffy what would happen if you did that, because if you don't necessarily fully understand them, and if you made a mistake, you could make things worse.
Right.
Though you might have a chance to make things better if you did that. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
unfortunately, it's a little beyond you.
In any case, I'm going to do my best to record the runes in my journal. So I'll just write down the sequence of runes that I see on the structure.
Okay.
And then I can look into it later. But for now, yeah, and then I'll think about if there's some way I can.
So Rook
restore.
starts going around
Yeah.
the well and kind of, copying down all of the different runes.
Yep.
I would like to check for any trace of the creature left in the well.
Sure. What kind of check would you like to roll for that?
I am not sure. Maybe it wasn't really a nature-based thing, was it?
I could see nature applying here. I could also see
Or
perception or
perception.
maybe investigation.
Yeah, I have the highest perception score, so maybe I'll go with perception just to see if I can see or hear any trace of it. Okay, well, 16.
Yeah, you kind of peer over the edge of the well and look down into it, and it is just like it's not a liquid or a vapor or anything like that, but there is an energy that kind of swirls within the well. Before the thing burst out, there was kind of there were like little disturbances in the surface that kind of revealed that something was writhing beneath the surface. Surface being in air quotes there. And you don't see that now. Whatever it was, it does seem to have retreated to some extent. The other thing I'll say is as you get really, you lean over the well and you kind of get close to this energy, you feel a powerful resonance with it. It very much feels like the same sort of thing you draw on when you cast your spells. There's differences, but there's an elemental alignment there with you, obviously.
Okay. Can I just take a moment standing at the side of this well, close my eyes, and try to reach out to the masked lady and just see if she has any, if her voice can reach me now, and if she has any information about what to do with this, if it's okay to just leave it, or if there's a way to seal it off so no one else can mess with it.
Could you roll a charisma check?
Sure. Oh boy. Let's do this one. Charisma check, you say. Oh, I missed my tower. Hey, not bad. 18.
18. Okay, that's really good.
Yeah.
You kind of offer this silent prayer, more of a desire for a little bit of guidance, and you do feel, even with your eyes closed, you feel a closeness, a presence. And then you hear her voice kind of next to your ear. My child, this Primal Nexus, this object you find yourself in the presence of, it is as old as the very origins of this world, and unfortunately, I don't have much guidance to offer you in this moment, but I do have, as you do, a connection to the element this Primal Nexus, emits, and it doesn't feel to be threatening at this moment. Unfortunately, that's all I can tell you. I'm sorry. And then the presence kind of seems to fade a little bit.
Okay, then after a moment, I will turn to the rest of the group and say, I reckon whatever danger was here is past. Not to say that someone can't use it for nefarious means again. So we might want to think about finding a way to maybe cave this place in or keep people out of it. But
Well,
I think the danger's past anyway for now.
maybe before we do that, we should wake up this creature, and I'll motion over to the frozen creature that was there next to the well.
The
You really
strange
think that's a good
kobold-like
idea?
creature.
I think we can handle it.
I have a worse idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ethan, is the skull of this big thing, is it like frozen into the rock?
Oh, this really, really big,
Yeah.
like the dragon?
Mhm.
Probably partially, but not entirely. I love this, Nick. Continue the
Embers-
thought.
Embers looks over at Tuppence. It says, "Hey, Tuppence, come see."
What are we looking at?
Do you think your flute would work on this?
We could try. Do you want to ask the questions?
Sure.
Okay, let me bring it out. But before I do that, Teppy takes a coin out of her coin pouch. She looks at it. She makes a wish, tosses it over her shoulder into the well.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, the coin disappears beneath the surface of the energy.
Oh,
I feel better. Let's go. Let's do it.
Does the coin like dissipate or anything? Does it like bubble up and or
No,
just
I mean,
does
it just
sink?
kind of vanishes beneath the surface out of sight. Like before it does, you can see it kind of freezes over, but it pretty quickly vanishes beneath.
Okay.
Don't ask me what I wish for. I can't tell
You just
Okay.
created a wish stone in the Feywild, though.
sure did.
Okay. So I'll get out my flute. Play my little dirge.
Okay, sorry, I'm just frantically looking through my notes on something because I don't know why, but I didn't expect this.
I just had the idea like 5 minutes ago. I was like, wait a second.
Come
Yeah, I
on.
only recently learned that you can cast Speak with Dead on anything that's dead and not just a humanoid. So this is exciting.
Okay, great. That's the extent of my notes. Cool. Okay.
This is my
You
favorite thing in the world to do today.
you cast the spell, and the dirge definitely echoes throughout the caverns down here. And as you play that final note, there's a rumbling as some of the ice that forms the ground of this place begins to crack and tear as this giant skull, which is bigger than all of you put together, begins to animate and float a little bit and turns towards you. And as it does so, all of the other bones that are like frozen to the ground and walls throughout the room crack the ice around them, and they begin to, kind of move and coalesce, forming the form of a dragon as this thing kind of curls towards you. And it opens its mouth, and just this chill again, this like icy haze fills the area around it, and you think you have this thing's attention.
Great.
Hello, sir. Madam.
Hi, who are you?
Hold on. Oh shoot, I didn't give this one a nickname yet. Okay.
Dragon name generator.
No, it has a name. I wanted to give it like a cool nickname. Like Matt Mercer
Right.
always gives his dragons cool nicknames.
Like an epithet or something.
Yeah. Anyways, this one doesn't have one yet. I was Sergil. Is all it says.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, actually, it would say, "Who are you?" It would respond that as well.
My name's Embers of White Ash.
It kind of remains quiet, giving you this like this deathly glare from its empty skull sockets.
How did you die?
The head turns towards one of the walls, and it nods in that direction. And you can actually see Different section of my notes. There is what looks like the bolt of a ballista. But as you kind of look closer at it, it's like within the wall encased in ice. But as you look closer at it, it's actually not the bolt of a ballista. It is a arrow sized for a giant bow, a bow much bigger than any humanoid could wield. I was struck by a frost giant's arrow in a battle for this land. An arrow of dragon slaying.
Control of this land. I'm sorry to hear that. Embers like looks at the rest of the group. Like,
I whispered to Embers, should we ask if it knows how to seal off the well?
yeah. Do you know how to seal this well?
The Primal Nexus is a fundamental element of this world. It cannot be sealed.
Hey, did you know Emperor Stratos?
I have to check my timeline. Hold on. Give me a sec. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. History of the Stratian Empire. Here we go. No, that's the Iron Republic. That's not what I need. Timeline. Here we go. Okay. The dragon skull nods slowly and says, "He did not have the title Emperor when I knew him, but I know the one you speak of."
I think Embers for the last question is just gonna like look around a little bit and say, pardon me for asking, but for someone like you, what would you say was your biggest regret?
That's a good one. I never lived to see my kind take full dominion over this land. This section of the continent was to be fully mine, but those giants. And with kind of a resentful growl, the temporary life that infused the skull fades and it crashes to the ground, and all of the other bones crash to the ground as well.
This is maybe something that I don't know or can't have the answer to at all because I'm not from this place, but how well known is it what happened to Sergil?
I mean, it's a matter of something that happened a long time ago. So it's probably, and like I will say, of the dragons that have, filled the history of this empire, Sergil is one of the lesser, the least relevant ones. So probably not a lot.
But is it well known that the warm blessed states are all named after prominent dragons?
You may not have realized that until this moment, but I think people who were from the Empire or like had dealings with the Empire previously, so like Embers and Vert, definitely Hakan, would probably have knowledge about that.
I see. Okay. Well, that was terrifying. Is everyone all right?
Oh yeah. Thank you for indulging me, Tuppence.
That was fun, wasn't it?
They do say sometimes that curiosity killed the cat, so I'm happy to be alive.
Well, you're already white, so we can't tell if, you were scared.
Well, I think that's the second source that confirms there's nothing really we can do about this nexus.
Elwyn, you could roll a nature check if you want to. There's one thing I could tell you.
Well, sure. I'll do that. Pretty dang good again.
I'm
think that's
surprised.
another.
'Cause I feel like situations like this are always where we just like beef it completely.
I know, I know.
Yeah, you guys are killing it today.
18.
18,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know a ton about dragons, but you know the basics. And white dragons are known for, kind of typically being among the dumbest of the chromatic dragons. They tend to like have the strongest, like animalistic nature. Like they are apex predators, but that's pretty much, the extent of them. So it's entirely possible that, it's the dragon's nature to say, I know everything, and yet it doesn't know what it's talking about.
Yeah, so it has no idea.
It's entirely possible. Like
Okay.
maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong.
Yeah, okay. Well, regardless, I don't know if we'll find any more answers down here.
Well, I mean, I think we should try and wake this guy up and talk to them.
So you're talking about the little kobold?
Yeah.
That thing's just asleep.
I will say when the tentacles erupted from the well, one of them probably knocked into this ice statue of a being, and it's probably a little bit shattered. So there might be, pieces of it here and there. It's probably not all intact.
If it's dead, we have just the thing for that, maybe.
Indeed.
Not until tomorrow, though.
Oh, not until tomorrow?
Right? It's a once a day kind of
I will
thing.
say there's a nice frozen, of the pieces that shattered off, there's like an arm here and a body there, but of the pieces that shattered off, one of them is just a nice cleanly cut skull,
I mean,
just the head.
If you want to take it with, just keep it cold so it doesn't start smelling.
Did this
Smelly
thing have
melon.
any bags or belongings frozen along with it?
Roll an investigation check.
Okay. This one I'm not so good. Let's see here. That's a natural one. There we go.
Yeah, it's in pieces, and despite the fact that there's no blood, I don't know if Elwyn wants to look too closely at that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Never mind then.
Well, if this was a dragon's hoard, maybe there's some treasure to be had while we're here, though.
There's at least one giant arrow of dragon slaying to be had.
That's true. That might come in handy. I did see some things that were glowing. I could spend some time and pull my spell back up and see if I can find some magical artifacts down here. If we want to spend some time digging them out before we head back up.
When else are we going to be here?
Yeah,
Say
might
do
as
it.
well.
All right.
Is that anchor in the right corner cosmetic, or is that actually there? Because I
You
want
know,
to look at that.
It was cosmetic. It's not one of the things that lights up with Elwyn's spell. But let's say there is like a golden encrusted anchor over there.
Oh, sweet. Can I go like
It'd
investigate
be the
it or
perfect
something?
decoration for the broken axe.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, you can pull out the golden anchor.
Sweet.
It looks like it's probably not solid gold. It's more like gold plated, but
You might have
still.
to change the name of your tavern.
Yeah, seriously.
Welcome to the Golden Anchor.
Yeah.
Anywhere near the sea?
No.
Hakan probably hasn't seen like large bodies of waters in decades anyways, so
Yeah, you guys are about 7 days journey from Port Horizon Shroud, which would be the closest sea. So
But back
Yeah.
in the day, the land masses could have been a little different, right? You know, maybe there was a larger body of water around here. Who knows?
Rhymelock is right there though.
Ethan knows.
Yeah. I mean, what I will say is it looks like there is quite a bit of treasure here, but it doesn't look like the amount of treasure that a dragon of this size and age would have had. So you would probably imagine that this is kind of the remainders and a lot has been plundered from here at some point in the past.
That makes sense.
All right. Well, I cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Okay.
so that we
Yeah,
can-
you see several points of magical light that you can point out to your friends. And how long do you guys want to spend down here just digging out treasure? Because there's plenty to be had.
This is like, we came here pretty much first thing in the morning, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't mind spending a while here.
Yeah,
spend
we can
like
spend a
couple
while here.
hours.
Yeah.
And Vert has like fire spells and stuff, which will
Yeah, I
help.
have Firebolt.
So-
We
I've
have
got
Bonfire.
shape water that can
That will also
unmelt,
help.
maybe.
Okay, then I will just tell you everything that's in this hoard. And it takes probably a couple hours, but you guys can pretty much get the last remnants of the dragon's hoard and gather them up.
Sweet.
Let's see. Okay. In terms of sheer coinage, for copper pieces, there's 1,100 of them. For silver pieces, there's 7,000. For gold pieces, there's 1,700. And for platinum pieces, there's 120. Beyond that, there are a number of gems or kind of precious stones. There's a lustrous pink pearl, an opaque deep black jet, which I guess is a type of gem, one transparent violet, and one transparent red garnet. And each of those is worth 100. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So about
was-
400
What was
gold
the
pieces
third
worth
one
of gems.
before the garnet?
Transparent violet.
Yeah, a violet.
Violet. Okay, thank you.
There's the brass mug that Tuppence already pulled out that has the jade inlay. There's also a gold bird cage with electrum filigree. Each of those is worth 250 gold pieces. And then there's Hakon's anchor, which is just, priceless, but that belongs to him. As far as magic things go, the things that Elwyn's detect magic spell illuminate, obviously there's the giant-sized arrow of dragon slaying, which is frozen into the wall. There's what looks to be a ring. There is some kind of needle. Like it looks like just a small tiny needle. And without pulling it out, it's kind of hard to tell what's up with that. There's actually a deck of cards in there. And there is a bracelet that looks to be made of dragon scales. And then finally, there's one last thing that emanates a magical aura, which is this strange octahedron-shaped hunk of like metal and stone. It looks actually to be, it's kind of like a dark black metal, but it has this kind of bluish sheen to it. And when you pull that one out, it actually seems to pulse a little bit with cold energy, very similar to the Nexus. So yeah, tell me if there's any of those that you want to kind of look at more, and we can get into more detail. But that's what you find.
Wow.
Tuppy will actually pick up the needle and bring it over to Embers and say, "Hey, Embers, look at this."
Oh, that's nice. I'll take it and examine it closely.
It's not like a sewing needle. There's not like a hole at the top for you to, thread a thread through. Embers, you'd be very familiar with these from your time, before you went to prison, and then also your time in prison, to be honest. This is a tattoo needle.
Ah, okay.
And as you look at it, there also seems to be kind of like a black liquid within it. And roll like a perception or an arcana check. Either one would do.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll Arcana because I'm worse at that, and I think Embers wouldn't necessarily know what this is. That's a 9.
9. It looks familiar to you. There's like something about this liquid that seems familiar, but
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's not a normal ink or anything like that, and you feel like you've seen it before, but yeah.
Okay. I'll hand it back to Tubbins.
You can keep it.
Oh, thank you. I'll put it away.
I'll look at the octahedron thing that's pulsing with energy similar to the Nexus.
Okay. The octahedral shape itself seems to be made of mostly of metal, though there's little bits of stone here and there as well. You don't even need to make a check. It's very familiar to you. If it didn't have this blue sheen that it has, it would be identical to the metal you make your suit out of.
Oh.
The other thing is it has runes in Draconic carved into it. And since you can read Draconic, you can see that they read Surgical.
Huh. Okay.
And I think as you inspect this, you would feel a rumbling of Naiadon in the back of your head as well.
Oh no, I put it away. Just kidding. No, he can talk. What's up?
Voice changer.
Here we go.
This is a very valuable artifact, Vertinor.
You don't say. You don't say.
If this is what I think it is, then the dragons of ancient times would have coveted this and fought wars over possession for such a thing.
Wow. I'm surprised it didn't get plundered along with the other things that are apparently missing here.
Artifacts such as this have long been lost to time.
So what is it exactly? Do I know any? Do I have any idea by myself, or do I just kind of like, huh?
To the dragons of old, it would have been their way home.
Seems a little small for the home of a dragon.
Naiadon's voice goes kind of quiet after saying that.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, then I'll tuck that away safely. Interesting. All right.
I'll look at the ring and the bracelet.
Okay. The ring You also don't need to make a check because you spend a lot of time with Vert. The ring is made of the same metal as Vert's armor. What its purpose is maybe not essentially apparent right away.
Okay. And the bracelet?
The bracelet, like I said, seems to be, it could actually be, like, now that you look at it, it could either be maybe a bracelet, maybe worn higher up on the arm, or like an anklet. It's a little bit unclear which one of those it is, but it does seem to be made of white dragon scales. And as you hold it, let me look what this thing does to see if there's any hints I can give you. You feel kind of like a calming as you hold it.
All right, well, I will give the ring to Vert. Say, I think you could probably use this more than any of us. Here you go.
Like, I might already have 10 rings, and I'm like, oh. I see.
One to add to your collection.
Yeah, no, I know. Thank you.
And I will hold the bracelet out to like Tuppence and Embers and say, I don't know which one of you is more bothered by the cold. Maybe you, Embers, are going to want to take this.
And the needle on the same day. And Embers takes it.
I'm not sure if it's your style or not, but maybe it'll keep you warmer.
Owen liked it, so she put a ring on it.
I guess that just leaves the deck of cards.
Yeah.
I was going to check that out.
Oh,
Hey kids,
please.
if your DM gives you a deck of cards, leave
Don't
it
touch
there.
it.
Don't touch it.
Let's see.
Knowledge.
The deck of cards has like a different picture for each card. One of them is a red dragon. Another one seems to be like a giant of some kind. On another one, there's a goblin. Another one depicts an old cronish woman with like purpley skin. Another one seems to display like some construct made of metal. There's just like a different picture of a different creature on each deck, or on each each card.
Do I think this is magical at all, or is it just?
It
Yeah,
radiated
I would
with
assume so.
magical energy when Elwyn was looking at the
Mm,
various items in
right.
the icy walls. So, safe bet.
Can I like decipher if I know anything about it?
You could roll a history or an arcana check.
It's a history. I got a natural 20.
Oh, dang. So there are, a number of different, magical decks of cards that exist in, the world. How you would have heard of them, I'm not necessarily sure. Maybe it's like an old halfling folk tale that when you encounter, a deck of cards in a situation that implies that they might be magical, you should be wary because some of them can be quite dangerous. But then you've also heard stories of, others that are less dangerous. And because you rolled a natural 20, normally you'd need like an identify spell or an attunement to figure out what one of these things does. But this deck of cards doesn't seem to have the hallmarks of any of the particularly dangerous ones. And as you look at it, the backs of the cards have this kind of ornate pattern that seems to sort of shimmer as you look at it. And you think that this is probably, the entire deck is probably infused with an illusion magic of some kind. So not necessarily dangerous, but
Interesting.
yeah.
It may, if it doesn't seem dangerous, I might as well just take it. I mean, Hakon's not going to live for much longer anyways. He's pretty old.
Maybe
We'll
you
see.
could make some money with those
yeah.
sleight of hand kind of things.
Yeah. Do some gambling or something. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, if you guys want to take a little bit of time, you could spend, I guess, it would be like a short rest investigating these items to find out the exact properties of them.
I don't know if we need to do that right this second.
Yeah,
Just take them.
I think we should
take them
get
with
that
us.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was hoping that if we found some other like key item that we could use here to, you know, do something with this place, then we could do that. Otherwise, yeah, we could just leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, to Elwin's
Um,
point, we could try and sort of lock the chamber a little bit.
We could collapse the tunnel even that leads to it.
Yeah.
Just from my knowledge, did you guys do anything to the pipes that are connecting to the well at all? Or have you
No.
left them pretty much alone?
We never did anything to those. Yet, anyway.
Well, didn't Rook like do something?
Not with these
to-
ones.
He did something to the pipes up
The
in the
one up
cloning
above.
chamber.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
afraid that if we did anything to these pipes, it would just spill the liquid everywhere.
Yeah,
And,
we don't want that.
And the pipes are like still flowing and doing the same thing as they were when we came here, or
Yeah, but it's definitely like now that you see them in their current state, comparing it to how they were when you came in here, they were definitely being like overclocked.
Mm,
They seem a lot more stable now than they were before.
oh. Okay.
do we want to try
Just
to do
just
something
like the
with it?
energy in
I
the well,
mean-
to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could just collapse them that were the ones that are at the base of the well or something.
Yeah, I
So
think
they're not
that-
flowing through the, what's it called? The laboratory.
Yeah, cutting off the flow here is probably better than.
Yeah,
than
let's just do
collapse The tunnel.
Like
You
that
have all
idea.
that dynamite left, right?
I don't think we need to use dynamite for it.
No, in the tunnels to collapse the tunnels.
And let's be
on our way
clear,
out.
they're firecrackers, not dynamite.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
They're
That's
not
right.
dynamite. Yeah, okay, so do I need to describe a method to collapse
No,
these pipes? Or...
I think you're exactly the right person for the job. You probably don't even have to make a check. So if you want to disconnect these pipes or collapse them, it's easy enough to do.
I'll just disconnect them then if that's safe enough.
And there's like a little bit of an energy escape when you do that, but it quickly stops. And you can see that the energy stops flowing up the pipes once you do that.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
So then, yeah, just kind of pat myself down, just kind of, all right, guys, all done. Let's go.
I'm ready to head back up.
So yeah, I guess we'll leave the room, and then once we're back in the tunnels, we'll just do something. What do we want to do? How do we want to do this? Just, do we have like spells that we want to use, or I can check my inventory. I have a cluck mushroom.
Chicken walks up with incredible destructive power at its wingtips.
I guess if we talk to this chicken, yeah. No, that's too precious. I mean, we could just cast like a bunch of spells or something, or I don't know if we have. any
Elwyn
other-
could shape some ice over the door or something. I don't know.
Ice is not permanent. Is the
That's true.
problem.
Oh, did we
I was
want to bring
looking
that
at
head with
my-
us or no?
Ah,
No. Okay.
Wait, somebody go back for the head.
Okay. All right. If you want us to, I can bring the head with us.
Wait, who
Mm,
said that they wanted to?
Nobody said that.
Nihedon did.
Nihedon does? If he does,
No,
I mean, I'll
he
do
doesn't.
it.
He doesn't. No. No, no,
Okay.
no.
All right.
I mean, he doesn't say a thing. So
Okay.
All I'm saying is pack it in ice if you take it.
No, that's okay. If nobody wants it, then there's no need.
it can stay buried here with Sergil.
They'll be friends.
Yeah, I don't have anything that I can do spell wise.
No, I can't do that. Probably. I mean, I could just cast a bunch of fire bolts over and over again at like the ceiling and start starting to,
I mean, that would probably like melt some of the ice, but
or
it's
I
not going
have-
to collapse any of the rocks.
Or
I have
we
Thunder
could-
Wave.
I
we
have
could
Thunder
always-
Wave.
That might
I-
collapse
Ooh.
some of the rocks.
A cooperative
have-
Thunder Wave?
I also have Thunder Wave.
A cooperative
Okay, yeah.
three-person
Oh, yeah.
Thunder Wave?
Triple Thunder Wave.
You guys, with
Whoa.
that, you'd be able to create a cave in here.
Alright.
It might be dangerous to you as you leave, though.
But Thunder Wave
Well-
moves us, right?
No, it doesn't move
No.
us. No.
Oh no, that's
it's
the other
not.
one. Dang.
The other option that we have is to go to town and tell the townsfolk that this place needs to be sealed off and let them seal it off.
That's probably a better
That's
idea.
I like that
Let's do
idea.
that more.
Seal it off and destroy everything that was constructed down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm good with that.
So we don't risk dropping boulders on our heads.
And we don't risk any of this machinery falling into the wrong hands again.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that.
It'll just fall into Very's hands. Claws.
We don't have to tell Very.
That's true. You don't. Okay, so you make your way back up. You're greeted by the Rhymestrand dwarves that you brought along with you. They pretty much just stayed at their position and made sure no more undead appeared. And because you disconnected the cloning device, they did not. So, yeah, Murdoch kind of sees you coming in and says, "Welcome back. Well, were you successful? Did you find the source of the strange weather?"
I think
Yeah,
so.
I reckon we did. We took care of it, I think.
Yeah.
Have
And-
you been outside?
No, not yet. But I suppose maybe we should go out and take a look.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, and you kind of lead the group of dwarves out, and it is the first sunny day in about a month here in Twintowns. There's no clouds in the sky, and there's just kind of like a, not like a warm sun, but like a sunny spring day outside.
But it's still cold, right? Like it didn't just warm up immediately, or did it?
No, not immediately, but
Okay.
it's definitely warmer than it has been since you guys arrived in Twintowns. But would you look at
Alright.
that? The sun's out.
A good sign.
Yeah.
I guess we did.
Kind
do
of
something.
squints up at the sun.
Well, let's go back to town then and let everybody know.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll need to talk to the leaders, the mayors.
So you pretty much call a meeting between the group of you and Tawin and Gilead. Is that the plan?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough to do. And I think that probably, Tawin would want to host. So you end up back in Tawin's little hut,
Yes.
and Gilead is definitely looking a little cramped in there. Her large, dwarven bone structure, not lending her any favors in this gnome house.
Do they have they don't have like a meeting hall that's meant for taller folk?
Nope.
No? Okay. All right.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, all right. Okay. I'll get some berry tea ready. And Oda, hey, Oda, could you get some of your berry tarts? And we'll get this meeting started, and we can talk it all out. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
Very generous of you, Talon. Thank
Thank you.
She brings, kind of piping hot dazzleberry tea for each of you. Oda brings out some piping hot berry tarts straight out of the oven.
Ember's is sitting on the floor. She has worked out that this is the most comfortable position to be in his house.
Yeah.
Well, all right. What did the group of you want to talk about?
Well, we found the source of all of our problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We'll dive into the explanation of what happened and what we found.
Yeah, they're both very attentive listeners. Tawin tends to interrupt with questions and things like that throughout, whereas Gilead is more kind of listening quietly and absorbing the information. And by the end, they both pretty much have kind of furrowed brows. And Tawin just says, "Well, okay. Well, that's all very interesting, but it sounds like you resolved everything. And well, I mean, I'd say that our towns owe you now even more than ever."
Well, the only thing that's not resolved is your towns have to agree on a way how to handle what's down there and how to keep it from happening again or from you know.
Right. We're not sure if it can be sealed off. I think that that's very ancient magic, and I don't think that any of us here have the knowledge or understanding to do that for you.
And to keep Alberic away from it again.
Gilly,
has anyone seen him?
Gilead shakes her head and says, "No, the boy has not returned since the group of you turned him away. But like I said, this is not entirely unexpected. Knowing Albrecht, after a defeat like that, I wouldn't imagine he'd want to show his face around here. But as for this, what did you call it? A Primal Nexus? This
right.
well? We dwarves are known for nothing if not our stonework, so we can do our best to seal off this chamber. We'll launch an expedition down under the cathedral and see what we can do to brick up the tunnels, make sure no one gets in by that way. And then Tawin chimes in, "Oh yeah, and like I said, me and some of the other old folks in town, we've got a little bit of magical potential, so we can take a look and see what we can do. I mean, you're probably right; it's probably way beyond us, but maybe we can contain it somehow. I don't know. We'll just have to take a look, poke around, see what sticks."
Yeah, as long as you have it under control.
I wish you well.
Oh, that's it. The meeting's over. All right, nice and easy. Gilead kind of shakes her head and says, "Well, I truly do owe the group of you a serious debt of gratitude. If you had not come along, well, who knows how long Albrecht's defenses could have held against those frostbiters. Then eventually they may have broken through and come for our town all the same. So if the group of you hadn't come and put a final end to it, I reckon the group of us would all be dead eventually. So on the behalf of Glimmercairn and Rhymestrand, really all of Twintowns, you have our deepest gratitude. If there's ever anything we can do, for the group of you, you just say the word."
Very kind thing to say. Thank you.
And she kind of extends a hand. And then Tawin, seeing her give this gracious, gesture, is like, oh yeah, same goes for Glimmercairn, of course, and kind of extends a hand as well.
All right.
Take both of their hands.
Yeah. I'll shake hands. And
Tuppence goes in for more tarts. Goes
There's
over to
plenty,
Oda and
so-
says, "Hey, do you make rose petal tea too? This is my new favorite."
Rose petal tea? No, I mean, we're kind of more about the berries here, and it's in the name. It's in the family name, but
Okay. No, it's great. It's great. I love it. Just checking.
I mean, look, if we ever break into the rose petal tea business, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Which one of you
Very-
married into the
very good.
berries?
Oda raises her hand.
well, I'm not sure we have anything right off the bat that we need as far as our traveling group. But maybe Hakan could use some help at the Broken Axe.
Well, of course, Hakan, the people of Twintowns have always, enjoyed your presence here at the Broken Axe Tavern. And especially after all of this, if there's anything we can do beyond, continuing to, provide, constant patronage to your tavern, all you have to do is say the word.
I guess it's called the Golden Anchor now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually the golden anchor now. So
Do you hoist the golden anchor?
I actually think I'll just keep the name Broken Axe. But yeah, I mean, any help would be, great. Hakan's a pretty quiet person, so I probably wouldn't really step in to ask for help or anything. But he'll say that if you guys need a spokesperson for all this stuff that's went on, or the Nexus or whatever, if you have any questions, since I was there firsthand, or if there's weird people going in there, I can go check it out or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, Tawin is the first to speak up after that. She says, Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. As me and the rest of the old folks we're doing our magical investigations. I'm sure we'll have lots of questions for you. So yeah, we'll just come over to the Broken Axe, and we'll have a drink and we'll talk about it. Whenever we need your help, and just like just like Gilead over here said, anything you need, Twintowns really owes you one, Hakan. She kind of gives you a little punch on the shoulder.
Tappy will fly over with her flyer over really close to Hakan and say, "Thanks be to our great cleric hero, whom we met in a climate sub-zero. He was trapped in his bar, but for us travelers afar, he'd still be that lovable weirdo."
Aw, that's amazing. Thank you.
Give her some inspiration.
Yeah, you get inspiration. That was great.
We love Hakan.
Yay.
I'll
Thank
take the
you for that.
opportunity to let Tawin and Gilead know that we have a fortress in Amberhearth. We're heading, that's why we're traveling north. But if you need to contact us, you should be able to send word there for anything in the future.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sounds good. I mean, we don't have any messenger drakes or anything, but we can always send someone to a nearby town where the station messenger service has a little operation, and yeah, we can send something your way.
Right. And if
Or-
you're ever on vacation or heading north to Amberhearth, you know where to find us.
Tawin kind of considers that and then says, I don't know if I'm ready for another winter here, so maybe next time winter rolls around, I'll go north a little bit.
We would welcome you with open arms.
Or if you have any deliveries of any local specialties that you want to send up.
Tarts aplenty.
Yeah,
You could
anything
probably
like that.
find some buyers for your tea up there too.
Expansion. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, I hadn't considered, but Oda and I will talk about it.
Aren't we working on some on behalf opening? Sorry, I shouldn't have
Right.
said anything. Sorry.
No, well, we might have some ins with people who are building some new eating establishments, so they might be able to sell your tea there too.
All right. Well, don't forget, we do cider too. It's not just the tea. So
Good to know. We'll see what kind of connections we can make for you.
yeah, she kind of gives a broad smile at that. And unless there's anything else here with this group of people, the group of you can kind of reconvene back at the Broken Axe Tavern, where you walk in and you can immediately spot Malt up in the rafters. Probably hasn't left. He's just listening to conversations beneath him. And yeah, what would you like to do? You're back at the tavern with Hakan.
I'll place
don't-
the anchor right above the hearth
Oh yeah.
and then polish it a little bit, make it shiny as much as I can.
How do we feel about this Albrecht situation? Do we feel like we need to track him
like-
down or leave it alone or what?
I think they can handle it.
I think they've learned their lesson not to trust him with anything.
Did we tell them about like the underwater cave system stuff? I don't remember.
If you wanted to, sure.
If
I
we
mean,
were
Hakan,
explaining
you're going
where
to
we
be
found the
sticking around
tablet,
here,
yeah.
so you can pretty
Yeah.
much tell them anything you want to.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, so just taking a minute to relax in the Broken Axe for a while.
Vert. Oh, sorry, Brooke.
Yes.
Sorry, I used the other name because it's been on my mind.
Yeah, what's up?
Now that things have settled a bit, did you still want to use that spell?
I do. If you're okay with it.
Does it hurt?
No.
Okay.
All right.
What do I do?
I mean, we can just pull up a couple chairs if we want to just do it right here. You've seen me cast it before, so
I wasn't paying that close attention.
okay. Well, I mean, it only
I don't
just take a
understand
minute.
how magic works.
All right, well here, and then I'll just like bring her over to a table, and then um, yeah, I'll just kind of look at you and nod and be like, all right, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so just think about the memory and close your eyes, and then I'll place my hand on her shoulder and I'll cast Review Memory.
Okay. You begin to cast the spell. And what level do you cast it at?
I only have first level spells.
Okay.
Can I not cast it on?
Well, the energy, you begin to try and channel the energy and reach for that memory that Embers is concentrating on, but it's beyond your grasp.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, no.
And as you read the spell back, the memory must have, where did it go? I just had it. Memory must have occurred within the past month and must last no longer than a minute if you're casting at first level.
How long ago was this one?
This was 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, so this is not going to happen soon. Well, that's unfortunate.
I mean,
Okay.
you'd know exactly when it happened better than I would, I suspect.
For what?
I mean, you were there when your father was lost.
Oh, that. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm reading the spell still. Huh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I realized that was a condition in the spell after we had the discussion about maybe casting it on Embers.
Do I ever get 5th level spells? That's going to take a long time.
I think that's your max level.
Oh gosh. This is going to be like in the epilogue. I'm going to be casting this and seeing what finally happened.
Or you can
I'm
find
not-
another way to try and figure out whether Ember's story is true.
Well,
I
for
mean,
now,
I'm not lying.
and I believe that, yeah. He just wants to like, you know, experience it.
Right. You want to hear his voice again. I
Yeah.
understand.
Okay, well, So I guess like Brooke kind of just like sits back in his chair and kind of like, I guess I can't do it right now.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. We'll just work with what you know. And we'll get there.
Okay.
Bardrin says in Hakon's head, Embers definitely said vert, right? Like as in Vertinor? Like, I mean, and we already heard the word Oranglass, right? So Vertinor Oranglass, like Prince of Vogma, right?
Yeah, he'll relay that back to Barge and be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And we had our suspicions for a while, right? With like the song that Tuppence sang and
Yeah, I mean,
and the
it seems pretty
poster.
suspicious. But like this confirms it, right? 100%?
man.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, but
This point,
we're just speaking each other in our minds.
yeah. No, I am going to kind of step up next to Hakan and say, Hakan, do you want to have a drink with me? Glass of wine, maybe? My
Sure.
treat.
I'll go get the glasses and the wine. For sure. Absolutely.
While he's getting the glasses and the wine, I'll turn to Tuppence and say, Tuppy, why don't you put on a show for us? I think we could all use a little music right now.
Okay, I was gonna catch up with the malt a little bit first,
Great.
bring him up to speed and see how he's doing, and then I'll
Great
be
idea.
happy to.
Yeah. Why don't you take your time and talk to him as long as you want?
Bye. I know when I'm not
Bye.
wanted.
We fly
can
up
do either
to
scene.
Malt in the rafters. Let's take care of Tuppence first.
Okay. Yep.
There you are.
We have had a time, but the most important news I want to tell you is that we met this lady who is the best baker. Here,
Mhm.
I brought you a
Like you
tart.
can see, like you have his attention there, and he kind of eyes it. He sniffs it a little bit. Berry, huh? All
Yeah.
right.
So
And he takes a little nibble.
when we were talking to him, they're willing to bring some up for when we start the new place. up in Amberhearth. Isn't that exciting news? I'm so excited. I will be able to eat these all the time.
Yeah, he had a little nibble while you were saying that, and then just like as you were talking, he started to eat bigger and bigger bites. Yeah, this is good. And he just kind of like grabs it in his claws and shoves the whole thing in his mouth, and there's berries all over his snout.
It makes Tuffy really happy. Have you been while we've been gone?
Nora's gonna like this, I can tell. I've been good. I've been up here listening, watching, doing my thing. I have something I could tell you if you want to know what I've learned.
Always.
Okay. Let me pull up my table of rumors. Where did it go? The road to Amberhearth. We'll use
The
table on
table
that one.
of rumors.
Table of rumors. Roll for me a d6.
Lucky one. And it is a 5.
5. Let's see. This is a tasty little nugget, even if I don't know necessarily what exactly it means, but there was one group of patrons here who I heard talking, and one of them mentioned having a friend who works at an organization in the government. Maybe you've not heard of it. You aren't from here, I know. It's called STAR. It's an acronym. I can't remember what it stands for, but he said his friend works in a janitorial position, but that they had some interesting information. Apparently, this STAR has been funding some expeditions into the Spellstar Desert of late. Now, mind you, I don't know what an aerospace organization could want in a place like that, but it's interesting, isn't it?
Into a spell-scarred desert.
The Spellscar Desert is the desert in the center of the Empire. Large, impassable, filled with wild and strange magic, and equally wild and strange creatures.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around how you would try, what you would need to get ready for such an expedition there. Wow.
Well, I don't know, but if they're launching expeditions into the Spellscar Desert, one of the easiest entrances is north of Ardaleer. So perhaps as we travel north, we'll hear more on this.
As usual, you are amazing. Thank you. I'll let the gang know.
Kind of gives you a toothy smile as if to say, of course.
And Tuppence hesitates. She goes back in her bag, gives him a second tart. I was gonna say
She
for
just
later.
devours berries like now all over like the back of his head too. Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you later. Owen wants me to sing a few or play a few.
Yeah, as you leave him alone, he's like using his really long tongue to like lick the back of his head and get all of the last dregs of tart off of his body.
Ew.
What did Elwyn do with Hakan during that time?
So I'm watching Tuppence as she flies away to see if I can locate Malt in the rafters. And I'm going to find a spot in the opposite side of the tavern from Malt to go in and sit.
Okay.
And
yeah, he seems absorbed in the conversation with Tuppence and doesn't seem to take notice of that.
Perfect. Just what I wanted, all according to Keikaku. So I thank you for the eye roll, Nick. I needed that. I'm gonna make eyes at Vert as I walk past to the corner, and then I will sit down and wait for Hakan to bring the wine.
Of course you do. Ooh.
Not like that. A meaningful look. A meaningful look. And I sit in the corner and wait for Hakan.
Yeah, Hakan will just bring back a bottle of wine and 2 cups, and before he gets to the table, he turns the open sign to close, maybe drops the shades a little bit, because he probably thinks this is pretty serious.
Yeah.
So, and I'll come sit down, pour a glass.
Thank you. Thank you. So the past few days have been quite a lot.
Yeah, pretty
Seems like
crazy
more-
stuff.
More excitement than what you've seen for a while.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is the most excitement I've had in decades.
Yeah, I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling me a little bit more about that weapon of yours.
Oh, she wants to know about us?
Oh yeah, sure. We can tell you everything about us. It's too trusting.
I was just wondering where you got it, how it
Oh.
came to be in your possession.
This has just been handed down to me from like dwarves, and I think I don't remember exactly how he got it. I think
Well, it wasn't handed down to you from.
yeah. But
What we talked about was that during your military service,
right.
After like one of the like border skirmishes with Vogma that you would have been in, you found it, on one of the slain Vogma soldiers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you all that. I'll tell you the whole story.
So it was while you were a soldier, I see. How
Oh,
long
yeah.
did you fight for the Empire?
Gosh, I have no idea. It's been too long. It's been a long time. It was for a long time, I assume. But this was also, 50 plus years ago since I've been really in the military.
I see. So you fought in Vogma against Vogma soldiers.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he managed borders. He didn't do a whole lot of fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll refresh your memory, Will. There
Yeah, it's
was
been a while.
for a long time there was a sort of tense peace treaty with sort of like an informal
Yeah.
treaty between the Empire and Vogma. So for a long time there weren't any, like all out wars, like there had been in the past, but there were always like, border skirmishes and kind of like secret espionage wars between the two. But as far as like full out like declared war, there wasn't really anything. So you were pretty much in just like smaller border skirmishes and things like that during your service.
I see. Why did you join the army
Oh gosh.
in the first place? Were you adamant on defending your homeland? Were you trying to prove something?
Wasn't it because of your faith in your old god?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because I originally my religion was towards I believe the god of war. Can't remember the name right now, but then
Well, one of the gods who has sort of domain over war. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you were.
I'm trying to find all of our information, but it's really hard to find.
I am just grilling you right now. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it was Bahamut, wasn't it?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Was Bahamut a god of war?
I mean, it's a possible domain for Bahamut. Bahamut has, a couple domains that he is responsible for.
Yeah, and then Khan had like a change of heart after fighting in the army and the war and switched his domain to Tempest, I believe.
See, and that's when you left. That's when you quit
That's
being a
about,
soldier.
yeah. I'd say so.
Well, I'd like to think I had some effect in that.
Yeah, Barjun definitely did. She definitely convinced me otherwise that, it's probably not the best option.
What is it that you think is the most important these days? What is it that you value?
My
What do you
tavern.
believe?
My tavern's the most important thing to me, and Barjun, of course. Two
Aw.
prized possessions. I could lose everything else. I wouldn't care.
And your feelings toward the Empire?
I'm indifferent.
How
against
about your feelings
Fogland.
toward us?
I like you guys. You guys are great. I think we've grown pretty close over the past week. You said.
It's
Yeah.
probably only been,
Few
I mean, a
days.
couple nights, maybe
Oh,
not even quite a week, but
3-4
it's been an
days,
intense
maybe.
couple days.
Yeah, it's been a very eventful few days. So I trust you guys. That's why I'm telling you everything right now.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'd like to think we can trust you too. I think we can. I tend to be a pretty good judge of character. But I wonder if you'd be willing to help us when the time comes.
Of course.
If we need to call on you, would you be able to leave this place behind and come and fight by our sides?
Like
that-
behind.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know if I could ditch this place, but if you guys needed help for
Maybe
a
not.
while,
Maybe not permanently, but
yeah. If you guys needed help, then sure, why not?
and it probably won't be tomorrow, but
Down the road,
there might be something big coming and we might need all the help we can get.
sure.
And that weapon you have
Mhm.
is very powerful.
You're right, I am.
Yeah, Varjern's right. Yeah.
I can show up whenever, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Jump in
if
whenever you
wanna
want
come
to.
Come
Yeah.
in whenever you
Okay,
want.
so maybe around this time I'll walk over to the table and take a seat as well.
Rook.
That weapon's very, very powerful and
Wink
very
at you.
important.
It is. It's a very strong magical weapon.
Especially to his family. And I'll just nod my head in Rook's direction.
Right. Yeah, your suspicions are right. You know, I mean, and I'll like kind of roll my eyes at my friends and be like, not that it was hard.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, I'd
Look,
say.
I'll be straight with you. My mission right now is to recover items like that, and I'll nod towards the Warhammer.
Hmm. That is a problem.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hakan will
Um,
definitely bring Varjern a little bit closer to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
as this topic gets broached, there's a shimmer of magic in the air on the bench next to Hakan on the side that he's holding the hammer Traugrim. And as you guys have seen a couple times now, a sort of spectral manifestation of a dwarven woman in kind of the attire of a blacksmith flickers into view. And Barger just says, hello, hello, can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
testing.
Test.
Hello, Barjan.
I can hear
Okay.
you.
Don't check.
Hi. Oh, listen, I felt like I should be a part of this too.
Of course.
I mean, I don't know how long I can do this for. It's still new to me, but hi. Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Um,
Listen, we can see even just from the past few days how close you two are. And the last thing I want is to separate you. If we can come up with some kind of an arrangement that's mutually beneficial, that would be good for everybody, right?
yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, listen, Vert, Elwyn, Vert especially, I know that you want to, take, you might want to take Traugrim back, and I know that it belonged to Vogma at one point, but would it help if I said that it wasn't always Vogma's? And it had origins before. It belonged to my people, the Anvilheart clan. I crafted it to, to save their lives, and, then it passed hand to hand, and eventually it wound up in Vogma. I don't know if that helps,
No,
I
I
to
understand. Yeah,
put
and
your mind at ease,
I know
but
that now. That's why, like Owen said, we don't want to, break you guys up or trample over.
the other thing
what's
I'd say is
important.
I never felt at home ever during my time in Vogma. I never, connected with anyone who wielded me then. It wasn't until Hakan picked me up that I really found my mind again. I was lost within Traugrim until then.
Yeah, and really, I think what we're looking for now is just your strength in the up and coming struggle that we might have. And so if that's you coming with us willingly for that, or if it's Hakan and you together, I think that those are both fine options if you're, if you trust us and you want to help us with what's coming ahead.
Might
Bardrin
mean that
looks
you'd be
to
marked-
Hakan.
It might mean that you'd be marked a traitor to the Empire.
That's why we wanted to talk to you.
Hmm.
Yeah, Bardrin just kind of looks at Hakan.
I mean, yeah, I'm old. I don't got much. I don't got much time left, so might as well live it up, right?
That's how you feel.
Uh, gosh.
If anything
Who-
happens to you, though, I can definitely promise that we'll try and be Bardrin's friends.
Yeah.
We'll take
for
good
as long
care
as
of her.
possible.
That's exactly what I would want.
Bardrin nods too.
I guess who are we fighting? What's going on?
Well,
What's your guys' plan? I
That-
guess.
Really depends on how things shake out, I
yeah,
think.
we have sort of an slightly unclear enemy at this point, but we know that it's a very powerful, prominent force within the Empire. So, yeah, and
Powerful enough to afford a bounty as big as the one you have, right?
right. So yeah, we're gonna need a lot of help.
I mean, maybe I can even muster up some of the people in this town and in the Twintowns.
If
I don't
it
know if
comes
they'll
to
be
that
willing.
scale, but I'm not sure.
I don't know if we're ready to fully broadcast our cause just yet.
Yeah, in
Sure.
any case, just your words are enough if you feel the need to help us with this when the time comes.
Yeah, I think if you just need help at any time, just let me know. I'll see what I can do. Whether if it's like traveling up north or wherever, might be a bit difficult, but I'll see if I can make it.
Okay.
'Cause,
You know,
like,
the reverse is true too. If you run into any more problems down here, you can always send for us and we'll come back.
yeah, thank you. And, I mean, I've been living in this tavern forever, and Empire hasn't done a whole lot for me, and so why not? I mean, they probably won't even know. They probably don't even know I'm here.
Under the radar.
Yeah.
I wish I could say the same.
The ideal state.
Yeah. I need to learn from you, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, just live inside for 40 years and you'll be good.
Just
Yeah.
never leave.
Yeah.
Has it
Yeah.
already been 40 years?
Yeah, I lost track a long time ago.
I guess I spent nearly 20 of that pretty much just dormant. So
Yeah. I'm just throwing out numbers at this point. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing we're going to be leaving soon, maybe as early as tomorrow to get back on the road.
Yeah.
So
I'll whip some goodies for you guys for the trip.
that'd be very
Sure.
Very kind of you.
I'm sure I got some stuff laying around.
And I think it goes without saying, but we do appreciate your discretion.
Of course. Your secret is safe with me.
Thank
Good
you.
to hear. Safer with you than some other people I might know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I trust you guys.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go and see if I can get a better seat for Tuppy's song.
and I
Yeah.
think I'm at about my limit, so I'm going back in the hammer.
Bye,
Okay.
The form
Bardrin.
flickers out.
I'll
Thank you.
reach out and give Hakan a firm handshake. Not as good as
Torin
Torin.
sees that across the bar,
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
starts making his way over, claps both of you on the backs. Well,
Yeah, this is my
gentlemen,
cue.
we did a good job in this town.
Sure did.
Couldn't have done it without you, Torin.
Does he have a feat or something that's like handshake detection or
No,
like?
he doesn't,
No?
but he
Okay.
saw it from across the bar and came over
Okay.
this way.
All right.
Yeah, I'll give you a firm handshake
Yeah.
for sure.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. With that discussion, I mean, I don't have anything else. I don't know if you did. But okay.
Well, actually,
Two
hold
more
on.
for me.
I got a couple questions.
Oh, sure.
So they're kind of vague, but what caused you to like go into hiding? What did you do? What happened?
It's more of the circumstances. It's like because he was royalty in Vogma. I guess, or because I can do it in first person. Because I was in royalty in Vogma. You know, obviously, that's an important. What's the word I'm looking for? Like war, something. I think of the word for it. Like it's an important thing to claim after the war to make sure that all the leaders are accounted for and right.
And that's why you're running, just
Yeah,
because your name, or
yeah, because of my position.
He's the heir, so he's a threat to the
Right.
to their claim on the land.
I see.
basically.
And then who is looking for you? Is it just like the Empire, or is it Fogma as well?
No,
Everyone?
I haven't had contact with really anybody from my country in a while. So it's really just the Empire's been putting out everything they can to scour the lands and try and find me with, they'll motion over to the bounty board like wanted posters, bounty hunters.
Says 1 million gold reward on it.
Yeah. So like the hoard that we found from the dragon is
Nothing.
yeah, it's a percentage, a small fraction of what they're paying for me.
Mhm.
So yeah, so you can imagine that there's all sorts of people that are looking for a nice retirement by turning me in.
Right. Is there anyone specific that I should be looking out for? Any names that come to mind?
I don't think so. I've avoided, well, until the other day, I've avoided most pursuers. Pretty
I
okay.
think that the bounty hunter Fritz did mention that his group's leader
The Warforged.
had spoken with a fellow bounty hunter who was a Warforged, but you didn't get a name.
We didn't get a
or anything
name.
like that.
Yeah,
I don't
and
think.
even when we interrogated Byron,
Yeah,
he didn't give us any information about, I said like, who sent you? He's like, it was a Warforged guy. So I don't have any specifics other than a small description that we all heard. But he's also up in what's that city called?
Fymyr.
Fymyr,
Potentially.
where the RomCon is going on. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll let you know if there's anything suspicious going on, or if there are people looking for you or whatever around these parts.
Yeah, if there's anything to worry about, then I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
But yeah, again, your secret's safe with me. I barely talk to anyone besides Bardrin anyways, so you're good.
Well, as long as Bardrin can hold her liquor and when she manifests herself, it doesn't get loose lipped on us, then I think we'll be okay.
I don't know if I can get drunk. Can I drink? We'll have to
We
try.
can try, yeah.
You're in the right place for it.
I don't think I've had ale in, she starts counting, several thousand years?
Oh man.
Worth
Overdue.
a shot.
Hundreds at least.
Nice. I definitely want to get a postcard with, Barden drank her first drink in space. Like, she liked it.
After I leave the table, I am going to stop by the bulletin board and try to very discreetly remove anything that's asking for a bounty on information about Bogma royalty or anything.
I think it was just the one poster.
Yeah, I'm going to take that down and stuff it away somewhere in my bag for destruction.
Okay.
Yep.
What's anyone else up to? Tuppence, Embers?
While while her song is going on, I think Tuppence is gonna find Fritz in the crowd.
Yeah, he's probably sitting over by the fireplace, just kind of enjoying watching Tuppence play. And as he sees you approach, you can see that he gets a little bit awkward, kind of looks around to see if he should move away, and then ultimately decides to just kind of sit there a little bit like frozen, waiting for you to come sit next to him.
Yeah. Hey, Fritz.
Oh, yeah. Hey, hello. How's it going?
Going good. Think we're all gonna get out of here soon.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I saw that it was sunny out there, and it seemed like maybe the snow was melting back a little bit. So, yeah, I'll probably get going soon too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks again for not killing me, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Back then.
Yeah. I'm really sorry.
We can still keep that arrangement, right? Like, I'm not gonna have to die just because we can now leave this
No.
place. Oh,
No,
okay,
you don't-
that's
you don't-
great.
No one's. We're not gonna kill you, Fritz. I did want to ask. I don't know what I want to ask you, Fritz. It's there's something you did really good against the undead.
Oh yeah, I mean, thanks. I mean, all I did was light a few logs on fire, and it was nothing.
Yeah,
He kind of like conjures a little flame from his finger, and
but
gets worried about it in a bar and shakes it out.
it was useful. It was helpful, and I just we're up against my friends and I. There's something pretty big and bad happening in Stratos right now, and we're gonna need more people. It's too big for the four of us. I can't ask you to come with us exactly because my friends are still pretty mad. But if you're ever in Amberhearth, we've got a property there now.
Well,
so if
no shit, I'm actually from Amberhearth.
oh yeah,
I mean, it's been a long time. I haven't been there since I was a kid, but
Yeah.
I was born there.
Well, I mean, your whole company is. I guess you don't have them anymore. So if you're ever looking for,
He looks a little downcast at that.
but if you want work, we might have work for you.
Well, okay. I mean, look, I mean, what you're talking about is like all this big stuff that you and your friends can't handle. I mean, look, I mean, I've run with some tough gangs, but Byron, he was one of the tougher ones, and I mean, the group of you, I mean, like he died. I mean, it wasn't exactly hard for the group of you. So, I mean, I don't know how much help I can be to you, but roll a persuasion check for me.
Love to. Okay. Oh, well, no, not good. At first I was like better than average, and then I remember to have a -2 to this, so it's a 9.
No.
It's a 9.
Okay, yeah, he kind of looks at you and says, "Listen, I'm no hero. All this talk about like big and dangerous and scary things happening in the Stratian Empire, that's not for me. But if you're just talking jobs for coin, I mean, those I've done my whole life. So yeah, if I'm ever passing through Amberhearth, I'll consider stopping by as long as it's just you I'm dealing with and not the others. Because
Oh.
honestly, I'm pretty sure they'd rather I be dead right now. So
Well, yeah, right now, maybe so, but give him time to get over it a little bit, and I think things will work out between you and maybe us.
yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll see. But
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I mean, coin. If that's what we're talking, yeah, I'll definitely stop by.
It'll be good to see you again. I always have a soft spot for Fire Genasi.
Just kind of raises a fiery little eyebrow at that.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, hey, listen. I mean, it's still bugging me. Are you sure that I don't know you from somewhere? I really feel like I recognize your face. I don't know. Do you ever come to Amberhearth in your past?
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I've been by there.
Well, maybe I saw you back when I was younger. Kind of shrugs.
Ember's like strange to remember.
Okay. Roll just like an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, 19.
Thinking back and piercing the drunken haze that was your life back then, you do remember a time when you were in Amberhearth and you interacted with a group of, they were probably kids or like young teenagers at the time. A group of, kids in Amberhearth who were kind of like street urchins, struggling to get by. And you remember imparting some life lessons to them. And one of them happened to be a young Fire Genasi boy.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever met before.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, there's plenty of like Whiteford Tabaxi running around. So
Lots of
yeah, I mean, you're not the only Tabaxi I know. I know lots of Tabaxis. So
mhm.
listen, I'm gonna tuck in early. So
Great. Me too. Bye.
right. Good night. He runs upstairs with like
Yeah.
the mug of ale still in hand. I love when awkward characters interact with Embers.
Yeah, it's great. I actually want to follow Fritz, like
Oh,
not
great.
not in like a dangerous
he-
way. No, not they're just just like in a calm.
Okay, yeah, I
way
mean, I
heading
know he
upstairs,
sees
too.
you following him up the stairs, and he like looks over his shoulder and starts running. Though
No, but okay, all right, that's fine. Whatever. As long as he's just going to his room, I'm just gonna knock on the door.
he says, "I'm asleep."
Fritz,
Damn it, that was
Fritz,
stupid. Why would I
just
say that?
Open the door. I'm not gonna hurt you.
And the door, like you can hear like 3 locks get undone. The door kind of opens just a peek. You can see his eye on the other side.
And I'll just say thanks for your help in Raimstrand. We needed
No.
you back there.
Yeah, no problem. I already told your friend, the
I know.
Tabaxi woman. I just lit some stuff on fire. It's literally what I do. So
Yeah, but just I know that you're still rightly so afraid, but I do have a favor actually. I have one more thing I wanted to ask, if that's okay.
yeah, I mean, he doesn't say anything, but he doesn't close the door on you.
I want you to tell me everything you know about Byron.
Well, I mean, I ran with him for a little while. He was a good crew leader. Treated all of us fairly. We usually, when we worked the big bounties, we got a good cut of it. What do you want to know? I mean,
So, and we don't have to roleplay this whole thing, but I want to know like his mannerisms and other pieces of
interesting.
information. So you know
Okay.
I'm getting out of here, right? Yeah, okay.
I do. Fritz goes into some pretty good detail about
Oh,
how Byron
fantastic.
behaved, and I mean, I can get you some information. We can work it out together.
We can work it out later. Yeah, that's why I'm
Um,
like, we don't have to talk about it right now.
Yeah, I rolled a d20 just to like see whether it was on the good, whether he was pretty detailed or like didn't know all
Okay.
that much. And I rolled a 17. So
It's pretty good.
there are a few holes, but like as you probe into, Byron, Fritz like opens up more and more, and starts to share more and more details with you.
Okay.
I mean, obviously he doesn't know like the details of Byron's childhood or whatever, but
Right. No, and I only care about like the present, like
Mhm.
how he acted, for however long Fritz knew him and what's important. So
yeah. And you gather that was probably like a year or two that he
Okay,
worked with
great.
Byron.
yeah, and so I'm sure him and I spent a little bit of time together talking about that.
Yep.
But
And then when you're finally done kind of interrogating him on this, he closes the door and says, right, well, once again, I'm sorry I tried to kill you, but like literally it was part of the job. So, and he just closes the door on
Yep.
that.
all right, cool, thanks.
So Teppy says, okay, folks, I'm pretty tired, so this is my last number for the night. I want to shout out to our dear new friend. You'll recognize him from this song. Here we go. Oh, so tall and so proud. He stands out in the crowd. A former pro fighter, this rough and tough blighter. But does he need to talk so loud?
Torin like stands up and like points at himself. It's me. It's talking about me. I'm loud.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Love you. I love this place.
Everyone's clapping.
Okay. Yeah. If that's it and everyone kind of turns in after that, then the group of you find yourselves a nice long rest. If you want to, you can kind of take a little bit of that time to find out the details of the magic items you have.
Yeah.
So tell me who's got what, and we'll just go around in a circle.
Got the
Does Hakan still have the cards?
He does.
Okay, we can start with Hakan then, just because we'll go with the guest first. You spend some time with it, kind of fiddling with the cards and figuring out what they are. Turns out they're a deck of illusions. That's what it's called. When you draw a card at random, an illusion of one or more creatures that kind of appear on the card's face appears where you throw the card. And then the creature kind of appears and behaves as normal. But yeah, it's just an illusion, and that's what it does.
You literally got a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh my gosh, it's time
Pot
to
of
duel.
greed.
It is time to
There's-
duel.
There are a lot of different things on this deck of cards. So there's like, there's devils, there's giants, there's kobolds. There's one card that seems to magically depict a picture of you and your hammer.
Is there a white
Um,
dragon with blue eyes?
Blue eyes, white dragon? No, there's a red dragon though.
Okay. You gotta get that card too.
What is a bugbear?
Zach,
I know
what is
all
a
about
bugbear?
bugbears. They have really long arms. They're goblins.
Yeah, it's kind
Oh,
of like a tall goblinoid creature with
Yeah.
hair all over its body,
Yeah,
lanky arms.
big long
all
arms.
right. And what about the anchor?
The anchor is not magical, but it is plated in gold.
Dang it. All right. Cool.
Nice.
Who's got what?
I've got a dragon scale bracelet.
Okay,
And
this
a needle,
one,
right?
the first thing I need you to do is roll me a d8, because this one has a random property associated with it in addition to its normal properties. 7. Oh, interesting. Okay. So what this is, as you attune to it, you discover that it's actually an item that is very closely connected to the magic that a dragon infuses its hoard with as it lays on the treasure. So what this is it's from Fizban's Treasury
Oh.
of Dragons.
Mhm.
It's a hoard magic item. And so we can go into the details and you can look up how they work after this. But the properties that this one has as a scaled ornament in its slumbering state is that you have advantage on saving throws you make to avoid being charmed or frightened and to end those conditions on you. And then the random property you rolled is you get resistance to the damage type of the breath weapon of the last dragon in whose hoard the item steeped. So that is cold.
Nice.
Yeah, hoard magic items are kind of cool. So I'd recommend looking up how they work and what they do.
I also have this this tattoo needle, but I
Mhm.
don't think Embers is going to use it because tattoos don't really work on fur. So she'd offer it to somebody else in the group if they want it.
It's a tuppence-sized weapon.
I was gonna say it's
Could be.
little. I
Yeah.
guess I can carry it around.
I mean, it would still work on embers if you used it, but it wouldn't be
Yeah.
visible. Okay, let me look up what this does while Tuppence spends some time with it. So it would require attunement, but if you hold this needle over your skin where you want a tattoo to appear, and then do that for the duration of the attunement process, a magical tattoo will appear on your skin. And this one is a barrier tattoo, which with this rarity makes your base dexterity without any armor into 12 plus your dexterity modifier.
Cool.
And you can roll an Arcana check while you look at this as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's extra useless for Embers. Somebody else should get that.
Three. I got an 11.
Yeah. Since you rolled higher than Embers did when she looked at it, you can recognize that the liquid inside is the same, like it's the liquid. When Vert got his armor and it was like this liquid in a jar, it's that same liquid form of the metal that Vert uses to make his armor.
Okay.
Who else has got something?
I have the ring. I'm guessing I also have the arrow of dragon slaying, which we probably don't need to go into, and then I have the octahedron.
Yeah, that one's
shaped-
pretty straightforward.
Were we even able to carry that out?
If you want to, yeah. I mean, it's
It's a big,
big,
arrow,
but
right?
like you could fit it into the back of your cart.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically like a ballista bolt from your perspective.
Okay,
So.
gotcha.
The ring is actually an all-purpose tool, which is an artificer implement. If you use it as your spellcasting focus, it gives you a +1 to your DCs and your attacks. And there's some other abilities associated with it, which you can look at.
Okay.
But like I mentioned, this ring seems to be made of the same metal as your armor. And, like with your armor, you can reform it into different tools.
Okay. Excellent. So it's a +1 focus.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
There's also another ability or two associated with it if you look at it.
Okay.
Here it is. As an action, you can focus on the tool to channel your creative focus. Choose a cantrip that you don't know from any class list. For 8 hours, you can cast that cantrip, and it counts as an artificer cantrip for you.
Wow, that's really cool. What's it
Pretty
called
cool.
again? It's called all.
An all-purpose tool.
Is it actually on D&D Beyond?
Yeah, it's got a dash in it. It's all dash purpose. That's
Ah,
probably
I
why
see,
you're
I
not
see,
finding
I
it.
see. Okay. And then I also have the octahedron.
That one has magic to it, but it's not like a magic item per se.
Okay.
So
It's not,
it
like,
has some.
usable or
It
something?
doesn't have
Okay.
like any usable properties, but there is magic to it. What it does will probably require some research.
Okay. So I'll just write that down. I wrote down everything that Nihedon told me, which is still very like cryptic, but yeah, I'll look into it more.
I think that's it, right?
I think that's it.
Okay. Then yeah, you spend a long rest, relaxing in the the Broken Axe Tavern, and morning comes. Your horses and wagon are pretty much, easy to prepare. The horses look ready and eager to get out of here. You can load all of your treasures and things like that onto the back of your wagon. And the time comes when a group of you are all set and ready to go.
I'm gonna give Hakan a hug.
Oh, yes, of course. Big hug.
Thank you for everything.
Of course.
You know where to find us.
Yeah, and he'll have like a little basket of beverages and probably some like breads and stuff. Maybe like a little tasting kind of thing.
Bye,
Hello.
Hakan. Bye, Bardrin.
Hi.
It was nice to meet you both.
Bardrin kind of flickers into existence. Bye, everyone.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
all your
really,
help
for everything.
with everything. Yeah.
Give you guys all nice handshakes, and then when it comes to Torin, he'll just start like start crying.
Aw.
I miss you, buddy.
Oh man, Torin's like ready to go in for the handshake, and you start crying like that, and Torin's like, "Oh, you do that, I'm gonna cry," and he grabs you in a big hug and like picks you up off the ground and starts sobbing.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna miss you, man.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
If you're
Farewell,
feeling brave
everyone.
enough to venture out on the road again, you're always welcome to come and visit us.
Of course. Yeah, I'm sure I'll make my way up there eventually.
I'm sure we'll make our way up there eventually.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. All right.
Okay. A group of you saddle up. The horses begin to move forward, and you can see Hakan standing outside the tavern behind as you once again hit the road north to Amberhearth. And we'll pick up there next week. So thank you guys for playing. Thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch this epic conclusion of the Twintowns arc. We'll be back with more of this Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time.
And
to see you
thank you
then.
to Will for guesting
Yeah.
for so long.
Huge thank you to
for
Will.
joining our
Thank
Thank you
game.
guys. It
Was
was super
amazing.
fun.
It
I didn't
was.
plan for this arc to go as long as it did, but I'm glad that it did because you've been a
Yeah.
delight to have here.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
thanks,
been
guys.
Very
so great.
fun. Great job.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yay.
So all of us, I guess, minus Will, so sad. We'll be back Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So hope to see all of you then. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye.
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 Bye.